to.
르네 후슬러랍니다. 후슬러라는 거. 르네 후슬러가 오늘 오후에 지금 마지막 강연을 해주시고 저희는 점심 먹으러 갑니다. 이 사람은 컴퓨터, IT 이런 섹터를 발전시키고 대학을 받고 있는 교수님인데 크립토밸리 협회라고 한국의 블록체인 협회 같은 곳에서 지금 현재 보드 멤버고 이 사람이 좀 중심이라고 이야기할 수 있습니다. 오케이.
I'd like to welcome you very much and to be here. It's an honor actually to present you. First I'd like to say something about the university. Ariel just said we built this up. We started 2 years ago. Right now we have about 700 students in information technology and business information technology. And this year we're just starting a new program which is focused on information cybersecurity, which is a bachelor program which is dedicated to this topic. And we also have a continuous education program which is focused on blockchain technology.
영광입니다. 여기에 우리 대학교를 먼저 설명을 할 거예요. 지금 IT하고 비즈니스 테크놀로지나 뭐 인포메이션, 사이버 시큐리티 그리고 컨티뉴잉 에듀케이션에 그러니까 컨티뉴잉 에듀케이션은 일반적으로 대학생이 아닌 외부 사람도 받아요. 컨티뉴잉 에듀케이션에는 블록체인 가르치고 있습니다.
And as Martin Würmli and also Hans Tandler, they described actually this blockchain or this blockchain technology here or this CryptoValley. Actually, they started about 4 years ago, and they also had the idea that they want to do more than just, let's say, having the companies here and will work to them and develop this community. So about in January 2017, actually, I came also at the place, and then we founded this association. Our goal actually is not only to have the companies here, but our goal is actually to have an ecosystem. That means a blockchain distributed ledger ecosystem that supports existing companies with the technology and with the labor and the people that actually to get in touch with this new technology, but also allow new companies to settle here. So actually that we also have a startup experience, a red carpet experience for startups with all that's necessary actually to start your business.
이 모든 것은 정말 4년 전에 시작했다고 할 수 있어요. 블록체인 이런 것들이 그리고 크립토밸리도 그때 만들어져 있고 저는 2017년에 지금 블록체인 협회 어소시에이션 이런 걸 만들어 가지고 이코시스템 생태계를 만들려고 하고 있습니다. 현존 기업이 신기술을 가지고 와서 거기다 블록체인을 응용하는 이런 새 기업들이 주크에 많이 정착하고 안착할 수 있도록 만들어주고 스타트업을 발전시켜 주는 데 도움을 주는 역할을 하고 있습니다.
And as already was said before, it's not only a souk point, but as we mentioned already, it's actually that Lagside partner. They're actually setting up this landscape where you see how many companies actually in Switzerland have a direct connection to blockchain. You see right now there are more than 535 companies already in Switzerland that dealing with blockchain. And that's also from technology-wise up to exchange and also lawyer companies and all that stuff that really have to do something with it. And when you look a bit closer, you see that it's spread all over Switzerland. It's not only Zug.
Okay. So could you?
Yeah, sure.
여기 보면은 정말 535개의 블록체인 회사가 스위스에 지금 여기저기 지금 안착하고 있고 그 많은 기업들이 주로 블록체인 기술을 개발하거나 이제 암호화폐에 대한 이런 전문 기업들이 들어와 있습니다. 그래서 주크만 있는 것이 아니라 스위스 전체 퍼졌다 이제 그게 중요한 이야기입니다.
And you see here, there are a lot of companies actually that are dealing with the different aspects of blockchain. As I said before, this is investment, asset management, insurance, that are platforms, there are associations actually that setting up this infrastructure, but we also consulting tax and law issues, but also in the data supply chain management. You see, it's not only restricted to finance. Finance actually is there where a lot of the public relation and the press is mostly in that field, but you see that a lot of activities are in other projects. And we're also involved in 2 projects. One is called Car Dossier, where we really want to do for this car manufacturer that every car has in the blockchain stored everything what happened to the car, every service, maintenance, and if some parts has been exchanged, whether there was an accident, all that stuff. Because when I buy a new car, I just can visit this blockchain and see what happened to my car. And the other one is in the energy field, where we try to bring the consumer and the producer closer together. And that actually, when I, for example, I want to buy solar power, that I'm sure that the power I get is actually from a solar panel somewhere in Switzerland or wherever.
535개가 스타트업도 있고요, 랩도 있고, 인큐베이터도 있고, 엑셀러레이터 뭐 쭉 있는데 사람들이 쭉 그 스위스 얘기하면은 파이낸스 섹터가 뭐 발전이 있다 했는데 이거는 미디어가 그쪽 분야를 취재를 많이 해서 그런 거고 실제로는 그렇지만 않다라는 걸 말씀드리고 이 중에서 특히 저희는 카 매니팩처러 자동차 분야에 블록체인이 들어가서 모든 것을 기록하고 체크할 수 있어서 서비스를 발전시키고 새로운 차를 살 때에 어떤 차가 나에게 맞느냐부터 이런 거를 체크할 수 있는 이런 블록체인 회사가 우리가 지금 많은 도움을 지금 주고 있는 이런 분야이고 두 번째는 에너지 분야입니다. 실제로 솔라를 어디에서 어떻게 활용하여서 발전소를 뭐 지을 것인가 이런 것들 그 2가지 분야에 우리 대학교 저는 많은 노력을 하고 있습니다.
근데 이 슬라이드도 다 주시는 건가?
Would you give that to us?
Yes, you should have all the slides. Yeah, no problem.
Do you give us some drive?
Okay, I can.
We organize it.
It's there. You can. Yeah.
해준답니다. 아리엘 루디 선생님 해준답니다. Okay, he is very interested in
Yeah.
this.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
And how we do this actually? We do this in different. How we can thrive this ecosystem. We do it not with the thriving ecosystem, doing a lot where you show we have working groups that are focused on these different aspects where we try to do this forwards. But we also have these events, and as you already heard, we have first-class infrastructure here. That's actually where you can come here. You have direct access to the authorities and all that stuff. And we try to give as broad support as possible. But we're a bit overwhelmed by the lot of emails we're getting every day. So there, we really have to do a lot to work on that. And we, through blockchain is also decentralized. We're also focusing on a decentralized approach. We're having these different working groups that focus on these different areas, and I'll come to that a bit closer.
저는 또 이코시스템을 만드는데 큰 역할을 하고 있는데 여러 워킹 그룹을 나누어서 어떻게 암호화폐 또는 블록체인 기업들을 도와줄까 이런 것들도 하고 있고요. 또 인프라스트럭처를 잘 만들어 가지고 누구든지 오면은 처음에 텍스 시스템 세금을 어떻게 적혀내고 뭐 어떻게 하는지 먼저 알려주고 그 다음에 정부가 또는 우리 에코시스템에서 브로드 서포트 어떻게 도와줄 것인가 다양한 지원책을 알려준다. 그래서 많은 사람들이 쉽게 축구에 이사와서 스위스 이사와서 성공할 수 있도록 도와줍니다.
And you see here we have these different working groups, and you see one is focused on the startup onboarding, where we try to have let's say, in Switzerland, in Zug, they make a brochure which is called Doing Business in Zug, where you get all the information when you start a business, how companies and all that stuff. And we're doing also a brochure which is called Doing Crypto Business in Zug, where you actually get this information, do that in that view. We're also doing investments. We're bringing investors and people that are looking for money together, so that actually they can test whether this gives a fit or not. And what we're also doing quite a lot is in this policy and regulation group, where we try to set the boundaries, how actually this blockchain companies on one hand, or how this business can be dealt with. And there we have a very close relation with FINMA, for example, the Swiss regulation body for the financial industry.
우리가 스타트업 온보딩 해가지고 여러 그 시스템을 만들어 놨습니다. 스타트업이 여기에 와서 기업을 하려고 하면은 우선 doing business in Zug, 주크에서 어떻게 사업을 살 수 있는가라는 브로셔가 있어서 뭐부터 해야 되는지 알려주고요. 그 다음에 doing crypto business in Zug, 주크에 와서 암호화폐 비즈니스는 어떻게 설립하고 어떻게 하는지 또 이것도 저희가 책자를 만들어서 알려주고 있습니다. 거기에 보면은 인베스트먼트는 어떻게 하고 있고 뭐 팔러시 레귤레이션 해서 세금을 어떻게 하고 뒤에 세금 텍스도 있고 이런 지원책이 있음을 알려드립니다.
Additionally, we're doing also events and also communication. We really have to communicate, and we will show you a small overview how the access to our websites and Twitter accounts, how this increased over the last few years. And we're also, this is more not so technology oriented, it's more how you do the business, bringing people together, getting the knowledge spread and stuff like that. And we also have a working group which is focused on technology, where actually the nerds meet. They speak about really deep technology issues where they try to also develop the technology even further.
그뿐만 아니라 이벤트도 도와줍니다. 이벤트는 어떻게 하는지 알려주고 어디서 해야 되고 어떻게 값을 싸게 할 수 있는지 알려주고 커뮤니케이션 어떻게 홍보하고 뭐 홈페이지 어떻게 만들고 다 알려주고 가장 중요한 거는 테크놀로지 디벨롭먼트 어떻게 블록체인 기술을 이건 어제 기술인데 오늘 기술로 새로운 기술을 가지고 활용을 하는지 이런 것들을 저희가 협회에서 알려주고 있습니다.
And we see that actually we just started 2 new working groups. One is called Startup Coaching, where we really have a bigger investor, Lakestar is a big European investment company, where they actually try to give the new companies the support when they start in the early phases, but also let's say the pre-alpha phase, but also in the alpha phase, and they really want to start up. That they can go forward. You see, Lakestar is not only in Europe active, but also in America and in Asia. So there actually we have this expertise that can work together. And they really try to help the people starting their business. Not only here, but also they really have the good connections. And the other one is that we have in enterprise applications, a new working group, that we see that a lot of these applications are more, let's say, focused on technology or a bit smaller. A lot of them are in cryptocurrencies, in that field, where we see a lot of applications that are in the enterprise field, and they try to actually bring existing companies together with these new startups and technologies that they can evaluate whether they can use this technology in their business, in their traditional business or not. I think this is also a demand that we just saw, which is increasing in that field.
예, 스타트업 코칭해서 기업을 특히 암호화폐나 뭐 ICO를 하거나 이런 기업들을 어떻게 도와주는지 새로운 기업이 들어왔을 때에 다양한 시스템으로 도와주고 있습니다. 이게 스타트업일 때는 어떻게 도와주고 그 다음에 자기들끼리 비슷한 업체들을 또 모아가지고 뉴 워킹 그룹으로 나누어서 암호화폐 저는 기업의 미션을 어떻게 쓰고 기업의 목표는 어떻게 쓰고 홈페이지에 뭐 어떻게 장식을 하는지 이런까지도 알려줍니다.
And that's what I said before, is this matching items. And what we've also done is actually we started here. We already have 2 regional chapters, one in the southern part, in the Italian-speaking part, and one in the western part, in the Geneva region, actually to also cover all Switzerland, not only, let's say, central Switzerland, Zurich area, the greater Zurich area, to spread also in this direction. There we also, they just started very small, with small meetups, but now they also have already have for the meetups, they have a nice number of people that actually also attending their meetups, and there really they also have this connection with the governance as we here have in Zug area.
예, 주크에서 시작되었던 이 암호화폐의 기술이라든가 이런 협력들이 지금 스위스랜드 전체로 퍼지고 있는 이런 상황이고 스위스에서 이제 뭐 쭈리도 그렇고 여러 군데에서 미탑도 일어나고 있고 사람들이 모여서 서로 정보를 교환하고 있는 이런 상태까지 지금 발전하고 있습니다.
Das Slide mit den Investors, was war da noch?
Okay.
Sorry?
Sorry? Okay. That's, everybody wants to know this because this is the match that we try to match the investors with the startups. And actually this capability we launched on our website. All information are publicly available on the website. We only have very restricted information that are accessible only by the members. Most of them, as the brochure I said, and all the information with our, let's say, the companies actually to address first and stuff like that. we have all this on the website, and there we saw that we also set up a matching platform somehow. It's not like partner finding, but it's something like that, where actually startups can write their interests, submit their profiles, and look what they're actually looking for on our website. And then we already have about 150 investors that are interested, and then these profiles are distributed to these investors depending on the interests they're having. Some say, okay, I'm only interested in, let's say, in logistic systems, and then if this is smart, then this goes to these investors. And then actually, then what the investor then does is up to the investor. So we just make this connection, this first contact, and then the investor can decide whether they want to contact the startups or not. And up to now, we already have, I think, four startups that already have been financed through this platform, which is quite interesting. And here, to be actually to submit the profile here, you have to be a member of the association. That's the drawback to be on this.
예, 4월 달에 지금 나온 것이 정보를 공유하고 웹사이트에 뭐 올라가 있는 것들도 있다고 하는데, 지금 현재 투자를 받고 싶습니다 하고 40개의 스타트업이 지금 자기가 뭐 하는지 올려놓고, 또 프로파일 이 150개의 인베스터즈가 150개의 투자사들이 나는 뭐 로지스틱 시스템을 연구하는 뭐 가지고 있는 이런 회사가 있으면 내가 여기 투자하겠다라고 이야기를 해서 지금까지 4개의 스타트업이 투자를 받아서 회사를 꾸리고 있다라고 합니다.
Again, here you see we started in March 2017 with seven members in the association, and then we just rise quite to about 120 in the sea. Right now we're about 857 members already in the association, where about 2/3 are Swiss members, and about 1/3 are foreign members. About half are individuals, and then we only have a small numbers, and then the rest is almost medium companies, and there are only few actually bigger companies. But we're still working on that.
예, 우리 협회에는 지금 현재 857개의 회원사들이 등록하고 있고, 3분의 2가 스위스인들이고 3분의 1이 이제 국제적인 이런 기업들이고 50%가 개인이 지금 등록을 해 있는 이런 상황입니다. 정보를 얻기 위해서 개인들도 등록할 수 있습니다.
And here you see we also have large corporate members. We have supporting partners actually that provide something for our members at the discounter. So, and we also have strategic partners. We now have 4 companies that actually supporting us with let's say, with a bigger amount of money than just the member fees. Actually, that also they help us developing the ecosystem, financial-wise, but also they bring in, which is quite interesting, actually, they also bring in quite a lot of manpower. For example, KPMG actually has 1.5 person which work only dedicated for the CryptoValley Association. And also Lakestar actually just had one who does nothing else than supporting our members.
지금 현재 회원사 회비를 내는 사람도 있지만 회비보다 더 많은 회비도 내고 재정적인 지원을 해주는 데가 이런 것도 있습니다. KPMG가 많이 도와주고 있고요. Consensus also.
Yeah, Consensus also. And here you see actually with these working groups, we're not leaving them just out of work, so they really have to define the objectives for a year, what they want to do, and then actually we're also on a quarterly basis, they have to report how far they already are with their activities. But you also can see how this group is, because this is all, let's say, they're not paid for that work, they work on their spare time for that. So that we can track actually what's going on in that field, and then we see where we have to push in, let's say, some more members or make a call to have more members in that field.
예, 회원사 회비 뭐 내지 않고 돈 안 받고 저기 자원봉사로도 이렇게 그룹을 지어가지고 여러 가지 일을 하고 있습니다.
And I think one interesting aspect is here in this regulation. The regulation working group that really right now we're setting up an SRO, or the definition of an SRO, self-regulated organization, in very close relation with FINMA to have these crypto activities regulated. But actually that is quite interesting. We're doing the paperwork now, and in about 1 or 2 months we're going to try to get the funds actually to do that, because this won't be a part of the association. This has to be an independent organization. We're just doing the first push actually to initiate this SRO, this crypto SRO. And this is, I think, this is one of the main aspects in that field.
네, 이 그룹이 특히 두 번째 있는 그룹이 지금 크립토 레귤레이션 이 분야에 여러 가지 제안서를 내고 있고요. 이 팀은 독립적인 이런 팀이면서 일을 하고 있고 주로 필마 같은 데에다가 우선 이런 제안서들을 내는 역할들을 하고 있습니다.
And you see, that's the guide that we can say. We also communicated an ICO code of conduct, a total statement that actually that you see that we also have an opinion to the things that are going around. We also, before actually this ICO by the end of last year, the hype increased and there are a lot of, let's say, shaky ICOs out there. We already published a statement out there that actually that you have to be careful with these ICOs that do, let's say, actually do due diligence when you want to try to invest there, as you also do in a regular investment to keep track of that. And also we're doing on a blockchain crypto property framework that actually that we can differentiate whether it's a security token, an asset token, or whatever token it is.
지금 ICO 문제, ICO가 다 성공적이지 않고 어떤 ICO는 뭐 중간에 떼먹고 도망가는 사람들도 있고 해서 조심하라라고 우리가 많은 책자라든가 아니면은 연구를 해서 자료를 내면서 정책, 규제, 제안서를 내고 있는데 그 중에서 코드 오브 컨덕트, ICO 코드 오브 컨덕트는 ICO 행동 강령에서 어떤 건 ICO를 인정해 줄 것인가 아닌가, 이것은 시큐리티 토큰인가, 뭐 토큰이 어느 정도인가, 페이먼트 토큰인가 이런 것들을 정하는 규제 규율을 우리가 지금 여기다가 만들어서 알려주고 있습니다.
And then you see, that's already said, this SRO that actually we're doing, and its code of conduct also has to be improved. That means that was the first draft, and we're working with that actually to be more precise what we actually do, what we also expect from the members from the association. We already had to exclude 4 members, because they did some, let's say, some not legal stuff. So then we excluded them as members from the association.
그래서 코드 오브 컨덕트 행동 강령 ICO 하면서 그러니까 뭐 제대로 된 좋지 않은 행동을 한 회원 4명을 쫓아냈답니다. 이 협회에서.
And with FINMA, last year FINMA also wanted to get a bit closer to the people, and we organized for them workshops, various roundtables in Zug, in Lugano and Geneva, where they actually had a really open discussion with interested people. There were more than 400 attendees at the 3 events, where this FINMA really got in touch with people that are actually dealing with these activities.
그 다음에 보면은 저 필마하고 어떻게 가까워질까 많은 노력을 하고 있습니다. 필마가 뭐 금융감독원이라면 필마에 적극적으로 협조하고 또 설득을 시키는 일 이런 것들을 해서 무인민할 수 있는 이런 역할들을 찾으려고 노력합니다.
And then I think also what's quite interesting is actually from the event, when you look at 2017, we had 15 events that actually occurred, and up to now we already 52 events in these 3 locations. So quite a number of activities that we're increasing and also bringing people together. And there we see we have this blockchain for coders, where really the techies are together, but we also blockchain for good initiative. And then the CryptoValley Forum, which is quite good, it started already before the association was there. There was several folk actually who started that. And then you also have these different activities. And right now we're also starting a procedure for global ambassadors, where we try to also have international chapters in the future. But we're starting with global ambassadors, where they're actually building the first anchor somewhere in another location and set up their small infrastructure, and then actually before we start with an international chapter.
2017년에 우리가 15개의 이벤트를 했다고 하면은 2018년에 이미 지금 8월 달인데 52개의 이벤트를 했습니다. 이처럼 디맨드가 많아요. 전부 다 모의장, 밋업도 많아지고, 특히 테크놀로지 기술자들끼리 모여가지고 자기들끼리 그 많은 기술을 서로 나누는 이런 일들 하고 있고, 특히 글로벌 엠바사더가 있어가지고 이 협회의 글로벌 엠바사더는 여기저기 돌아다니면서 글로벌 운동을 하고 국제적인 어떤 협력을 도모하고 있습니다.
And I think also we have this C Technology Forum 2, we already heard before, and then you meet Switzerland Global Enterprise or Digital Switzerland, you also meet, I think. And there you see also we really have this connection to other associations in that field. And I think we also have now one which is dedicated actually to have all this work, that because all the emails and stuff have to be handled, all these activities, and we have just about 4 months ago we could have this Carolina.
Who is that?
That's our executive director for the association.
association 회장이네. 진대주의 장관님의 파트너네. 회장을 몇 개월 전에 뽑았다라고 합니다.
Okay. And I think what's also quite interesting, actually, what's going on in the field. In April, we just created a new ticketing system. You see there are a lot of tickets we have 5 to 10 queries a day. Actually, where we really not only I need information, but I really want to have some serious activities that will then spread to the members, mostly to the board members that actually have to deal with, and then it goes any further. And I think one of the flagship events this year was this blockchain conference, CryptoValley conference by the end of June, where we had more than 650, actually more than 850 attendees here internationally. Where this was the first scientific conference focused on blockchain solely, not let's say in the fintech and blockchain, which was focused on blockchain technology. And we also had from ICO를, we had the brand from them. They only brand, ICO를 Computer Science Society only brands one blockchain conference worldwide, and we have this label from them, and this will continue next year. And there we see we have a lot of, let's say all the top universities are there in the steering committee from this conference.
이게 지금 협회에서 하루에 5개 내지 10개의 심각한 문의 사항들이 오고 전체 합이면 225개 정도 있어가지고 정말 활성화되고 있는 협회라는 것을 자랑합니다. 오케이, next page. 여기 보면은 크립토밸리 컨퍼런스에서 원래 6월달에 22 사이에 열렸는데 보면은 650개의 크립토 회사들이 참석했고, 그 다음에 부스 같은 데는 그저 25개의 부스가 들어왔고, 비즈니스 스피커는 40명 등등 해서 많은 것도 있고, 트리플 E가 우리를 인정을 해줘서 유일하게 트리플 E 마크를 우리가 달고 있고, 우리를 도와주는 던디 유니버시티, 퍼두, 스탠퍼드 이런 데 대학교들이 전부 우리하고 협력을 하고 있습니다.
And you see, we also have to communicate all the information. We have press releases to actually do that. There we're working together with an international company. And you see, actually we have, in Twitter, we have more than 4,400 followers. We have, in 2017, we have 15 press articles already, and up to now already 40, so we're quite active in that field. And you also see that our website is, demands are quite, we have 2,000 visits per day, and 7,000 videos. So you see, actually the information we also provide you on the website is quite interesting, and we get a lot of traffic out of there. You see more than 1 million visits already, with about more than 300,000 unique visitors since our launch in November last year. I think, yeah.
여기 보면은 우리가 2017년에 보도 자료를 50개를 내보냈는데 이미 2018년에 40개 보도 자료를 내보냈고, 트위터 팔로워가 5,400명이고 등등. 그다음에 오케이, 여기 보시면은 하루에 2,000명이 지금 우리 웹사이트에 방문하고 있고요. 그뿐만 아니라 100만 명 이상이 와서 들여다보고 갔다라는 거 하고, 많은 통계 자료가 있습니다. 자료 드릴게요.
So you see, there is still, the topic is still hot. There are a lot of activities in that field. We're trying to cope with that, and we also need let's say the community is also increasing. You see, the members are still increasing. They all have some demands. They really want to know more, and we really try to do our best to give them the opportunity to get this information or to bring the people together, that they really do link them together to thrive this ecosystem here in the, let's say, greater Zug area.
Okay. 여러 가지 활동을 많이 합니다. Have how many employees do you have?
We just have one employee, and all the other are working part. Yeah.
한 사람만 돈 주고 월급 받는 사람 직원 한 명 딱 있고 나머지는 전부 자원봉사 하고 있고. What is your budget? Annual budget?
The
To run all
budget.
this website and all this.
Yeah, the budget is about somewhere close to 200,000 Swiss francs. But with the conference last year, it's a bit more than 1 million.
Okay.
This year.
2,000 francs 정도, 2,000.
200,000.
200,000 franc에다가 1 million.
Yeah, with the conference.
컨프런스 해가지고 번 돈이 1 million franc가 되고 돈을 좀 벌고 있다. 하지만 직원은 한 명밖에 채용하지 않습니다. 전부 자원봉사.
And I think to end this up, last year it's been let's say this year we got the from the Swiss FinTech Award. We received the award for Influencer of the Year, which is quite interesting because there we've been stayed here for a bit less than a year, and we already got this award for as Influencer of the Year.
시작한 지 진짜 몇 년 안 됐는데 우리가 Influencer of the Year 올해 최고 영향력 있는 단체라고 상을 받았습니다. 스위스 핀텍 어워즈도 받았고요.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Just to add to this, I mean, the CryptoValley Association is also very influential worldwide on a global basis, because whenever a company wants to come to Switzerland, a blockchain company comes to Switzerland, they will probably always go to the CryptoValley Association to find out, what should I do? I want to come to Switzerland, what should I do? So that's why actually this is not a local phenomenon, the CryptoValley Association, it's a global phenomenon. In some lists, the association is rated under the top 20 influencer worldwide, because people would like to come here. So it's also like a travel agency together with Lakestar as well, who helps companies to come here. Because just think, me as an entrepreneur, I would like to come to Seoul. Where would I go to get help, to find a place, and how do I get people involved? So that's the role of the CryptoValley.
그 모든 스위스로 들어오기를 원하는 기업들은 특히 크립토 분야에서는 이 크립토밸리 어소시에이션을 제일 먼저 찾아갑니다. 그래서 세계적으로 탑 20 가장 영향력을 행사하는 20개 기관이다, 이렇게 이야기를 할 수 있어요. 서울에서 기업할 때 하고 싶은데 외국인들이 어디 갑니까? 서울시청 갑니까? 어디 갑니까? 할 때 지금 크립토에 관련돼 있어는 이 사람을 찾아간다, 그죠? 크립토협회 찾아간다 라고 보시면 되겠습니다.
I have one question to you, and also at you. How much are you involved in with the whole regulation setting? Are you part of this process, or are you just outside? What question first?
예, 레귤레이션, 그러니까 이제 암호화폐에서 규제 또는 법적인 문제를 당신네들이 어느 정도에 관여해서 정하고 있습니까?
We're part of some discussions. We're trying to push other ones, and we're totally aside of some discussions. So that's actually depending on. We try to actually to push as hard or bring members in as fast as strong as possible, but sometimes it's not so easy because we're let's say we're running at sometimes at the too high speed for the others, for the regulation.
정부의 규제를 담당하는 이런 기관 또는 사람들보다는 우리가 더 많은 것을 요구하기 때문에 쉽게 우리가 원하는 것을 성취하지는 없지만 아무튼 푸시하고 있는, 굉장히 빠른 속도로 규제 완화해달라고 푸시하고 있는 사람들입니다.
And how is it in Korea? Same?
How is it Korea? 회장님.
And are you involved with the government?
Yes, we are trying to suggest any kind of regulation, but not directly to the regulators, but through the
In
parliament.
Okay, parliament.
But in Korea, the thing is that government is not actually, they are kind of denying the existence of cryptocurrency itself. So
It
it's,
used to be here.
they listen to our opinion informally, not formally. That's our problem.
So we have a quite good connection to FINMA here. Really have we have some discussions only with them, and then they reach out to the Swiss Bankers Association.
Yeah.
But then we're apart from that.
So when we hear from here, when we read newspapers about South Korea and crypto, it's not clear the strategy. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes maybe. So where are you right now? What's the situation?
They have a principle of ambiguity.
Yeah, exactly. But which way do you think is it going to go? To a yes, late?
I think they are really from the 11th of January this year.
Yeah.
The Minister of Justice he intended to close down all the cryptocurrency
Yeah.
exchanges, but now I think they are more into they want to regulate it,
Yeah.
but not specific plan is not announced yet.
Interesting. You have to talk more about that. Very interested to hear from you. Okay. So, if you have we're going now for lunch. If you have any specific questions to the Swiss guys here, just tell Young Suk. Make a list of things so that until tomorrow night we will try to answer everything. That if we can help, how we do it here. Your job is it then to switch it and apply the good pieces you like in South Korea. But please give her all the questions that you need.
Okay.
Yeah, 저한테 질문 다 해주세요. So ambiguity, ignoring that period. You had the same period here. How long? A year? 2 years?
Yeah. I'd say about 2 years there happened nothing.
Yeah.
And then actually the regulation became open to discuss this with us.
피마가 한 2년 동안 이 협회를 완전히 무시하고 듣지도 않고 하다가 이제는 이야기를 많이 듣는다, 그죠? 금융감독원이 이 사람들 이야기를 많이 듣는다. 그게 2년 걸렸다. 한국도 한 2년 걸리겠네요, 그죠? Yeah. Okay. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me have a line or two. Okay?
So now we follow Lisa, right?
Yeah, Lisa,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah, follow Lisa. See you later this afternoon.